Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I'll be talking about Jayden Daniels and how he said he's trying to gain weight and bulk up this off season. He said that during Super Bowl weekend, and I'll talk about a couple important things about that. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button and that notification bell as well. We're like 30 subscribers away from 15,000 subscribers. It takes 1 second. Go ahead and do it. It would mean a ton to me. I think less than 40% or 35% of you guys are subscribed, so go ahead and do it. All right, let's get right into the video. So this happened, Super Bowl weekend or a little bit before that, Radio Row, whenever they're talking to all these, media people, and he was talked about what he's going to work on in the off season. He mentioned, of course, his quarterback coach is going to have a couple things that he's going to want him to work on, and then he mentioned some other things as well, but he also talked about wanting to put some more armor on. That those were his words, and gaining some more muscle. So I'll go ahead and I'll play the clip for you guys, and then we'll get into my thoughts on the situation. All right, and there are some potential copyright issues with this, so I'm going to leave the link in the description or the first in the comment section so you guys can see. But basically, it's what I said. He asked about what he's trying to do this offseason to improve. He said a couple things, his quarterback coach is probably going to want him to improve on, and they'll talk about that later. But the thing he said was bulking up, adding a little bit of armor, adding some muscle. And hey, that makes sense. Does he need to add 10, 15, 20 pounds of muscle? No way. That doesn't need to happen. We saw what he did this past year, had a really good rookie season at the weight he was at. Would it be, beneficial maybe for him to gain a couple pounds? Sure. I don't think it's, completely necessary, but I think if he adds a couple pounds, that's fine. And if he continues to add 1 or 2 pounds every off season, he'll get to a good point, and where it's harder for him to get injured on these big hits and stuff. But you don't want him to gain a lot of weight where he's potentially losing that speed and that agility and elusiveness that makes him so good. And I think they'll find the sweet spot with that, where he still could, like I said, gain a few more pounds without losing a lot of speed. And I think that's the best solution. I saw someone sorry, in the comments of this video saying that ever since he got to LSU, he transferred from Arizona State, he gained some weight every offseason. So does that mean, like I said, he's going to gain 10 pounds? No, but it could be, 2, 3, 4, 5 pounds. And if it's muscle, that's good. And, just getting, like Jayden Daniels said himself, some armor, some extra armor, so that when he's taking those bigger hits, it's a little bit harder for him to get hurt, and maybe he doesn't go flying as easily as he did a few times this year. And even at LSU, I think at LSU it was even worse, and probably Arizona State too. So like the comment said, he's gaining a little bit more weight every off season, and at some point hopefully that's not needed. And I don't think it's needed right now, like absolutely needed. Could it help? Yeah, so maybe a couple pounds, but it's not like an Emmanuel Forbes situation where 10, 15, 20 pounds from when he was drafted was probably needed in the long run. And it's still, even though he did gain some weight, it still, didn't work out here in Washington. He's with LA right now, wishing nothing but the best for him. But now that's kind of the situation here with Jayden Daniels. He had a sensational rookie year, probably the best rookie year of any rookie ever, honestly. Definitely quarterback and offensive player. And for him to do that with the weight he was at, he doesn't really need to add much. But if he wants to add a couple, it could be beneficial in terms of making it harder for him to maybe go down at points, and also, reduce the injury risk as well. He's listed at 210 right now. I don't know exactly what he's at, but like I said, he doesn't need to gain a lot more weight. He's he played perfectly fine this past year. But just something I wanted to talk about and mention, because it's clearly something that's on his mind and clearly something that he thinks is important. So if he thinks it's important, then let's go with it, and let's see what happens this offseason. I don't think it'll be like a noticeable difference. Like, I don't think he's gonna come into training camp or OTAs or whatever, and the reporters are going to be like, wow, man, it's crazy. It looks like Jayden Daniels really put on some muscle. He might mention it, but I don't think it's going to be a crazy difference in terms of his look. Some other things I wanted to mention, because this is the part of the offseason where, there's nothing really going on right now. So there's going to be a main topic of each video and then some subtopics. So Christian Kirk, Steve from Twitter, shout out to him, brought up him as a possible option for Washington. He makes sense. He's maybe not the same player he was, but he's still, somewhat young, and he played with Cliff when Cliff was the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. So that reunion could potentially make sense, and you sign him, maybe draft a guy or sign another guy, and your receiver room's, significantly better than it was last year. So that's something to watch out for as well. Here's some advanced stats on some of the top guys in the NFL in terms of route running and win rate. And Christian Kirk was one of the top guys. So yeah, Christian Kirk, I'll go ahead and pull up his stats here, but this past year wasn't good for him, but every other year, he's had some really good numbers. Let's see, 24, 379 yards, but still that's not awful in 8 games. It's on pace for, close to 800. So 760, something like that. And the year before had 787 in 12 games. The year before 1100. Year before, which was in Arizona, was 982, 620, 700, and 600. So the injuries are a little bit of an issue if you look at it. Missed 9 games this past year, 5 the year before. 2 that year, 3, 4. So he misses some games, so you can't count on him being healthy for a full year. But he's 29 years old. He's 28 years old. 28 years old, and will be turning 29 middle of the season. So still a guy that can contribute and knows, Cliff knows what to expect. And I'm trying to think of any guy. I guess he probably played with Zach Ertz maybe a little bit in Arizona, and I'm trying to think of any other guys. I think that's it in terms of the major connections, but I would not mind Christian Kirk here in Washington. He's better than any other receiver we have on the team, obviously, besides Terry McLaurin. Has a 1,000-yard season and multiple seasons close to that. At least 2021, 982, and then I should say multiple seasons with, on pace for 1,000 yards. With 2023, he was on pace for 1,000 yards. 2021, almost 1,000 yards, and some other seasons as well where he's close, like 2019 and 2020. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Every video will have a main topic, like I said, and then talk about some maybe free agents or stuff like that that's going on, because there's not a lot going on right now. The combine's coming up in a week or 2, and then we got free agency right around the corner. So soon we will start to get more rumors and stuff. But that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and peace.